What would you do if a single act of kindness turned your quiet life into a heart-pounding chase? Eli Harper, a weathered farmer in his mid-50s, lived alone on a sprawling wheat farm in Nebraska, where the horizon stretched endless and the only sounds were the rustle of crops and the hum of his old crop duster. His days were simple: work the land, fix the plane, and keep to himself. But one stormy evening, everything changed. The rain came down in sheets, lightning cracking the sky like a whip. Eli was securing his barn when he saw headlights flickering through the downpour. A car had skidded off the county road, lodged in a ditch. Without hesitation, he grabbed his coat and ran into the storm. Inside the car was a woman, shivering, her dark hair plastered to her face. She looked shaken but unharmed. "Thank you," she whispered, her voice trembling as Eli helped her to his truck. She introduced herself as Clara, a scientist passing through. Over coffee in his kitchen, she spoke little, her eyes darting nervously. Eli didn't pry. He gave her a blanket, a couch to sleep on, and the promise of help towing her car at dawn. By morning, Clara was gone. No note, no trace, just tire tracks leading back to the road. Eli shrugged it off, assuming she'd gotten her car free and left. Life resumed its rhythm. He prepped his crop duster, a rickety plane he'd flown for decades, and took to the sky to spray his fields. The hum of the engine was his solace, the patchwork of gold and green below his only concern. Then, mid-flight, a shadow crossed his wing. Eli's heart lurched as he glanced out the cockpit. An F-22 Raptor, sleek and lethal, hovered impossibly close, its roar drowning out his engine. The jet's pilot signaled him to land, the gesture sharp and unyielding. Eli's hands shook on the controls. Why would a military jet intercept a farmer's plane? His mind raced. Had he flown into restricted airspace? Was this a mistake? He radioed the tower, his voice cracking. "This is Eli Harper. What's going on?" Static answered, then a cold voice. "Land immediately. Do not deviate." Eli had no choice. He descended, the F-22 shadowing him like a predator. His small airstrip came into view, and he touched down, the jet screaming overhead before vanishing into the clouds. Before he could catch his breath, two black SUVs screeched onto his property. Men in suits emerged, their faces grim. "Mr. Harper," one said, flashing a badge. "We need to talk about the woman you helped last night." Eli's stomach dropped. "Clara." They questioned him relentlessly. Who was she? What did she say? Did she give him anything? Eli told them the truth, knew nothing beyond her name and her fear. The lead agent, a man named Kessler, studied him. That night, unable to sleep, Eli found something odd: a small, metallic device tucked under the couch where Clara had slept. It looked like a USB drive, but hummed faintly when he held it. His gut told him to destroy it, but curiosity won. He plugged it into his old laptop. A single file appeared, labeled Project Nebula. Before he could open it, his screen flickered, and a message flashed. "You've been compromised." The twist came at dawn. Eli's neighbor, Old Man Tucker, showed up unannounced, his face pale. Tucker, a reclusive veteran who rarely spoke, confessed he'd seen Clara's car the night of the storm. "She wasn't alone," he muttered. "There was a man in the back seat, watching. I didn't tell you 'cause I thought it was nothing." Tucker's words hit like a punch. Clara hadn't been a lone traveler. She was running from someone. Or with someone. Eli handed the device to Kessler's team, who swarmed his farm again. They revealed fragments. Clara was tied to a classified project, and the device held data that could destabilize governments. Eli, a simple farmer, had stumbled into a world of espionage. Kessler warned him to stay silent, but Eli couldn't shake the feeling he'd been used not just by Clara, but by fate itself. Weeks passed. The jets stopped circling, the suits left, and Eli returned to his fields. But he was changed. He saw the sky differently now, not as freedom, but as a place where secrets hid. He kept Tucker's confession to himself, a quiet bond between two men who'd seen too much. Clara's face haunted him, her fear real despite her lies. He wondered if his kindness had saved her or doomed her. In the end, Eli learned a hard truth. Even the smallest act can ripple into chaos. He chose to keep helping others, but now with eyes wide open, knowing the world held storms far worse than rain. Yendi.